Hi everyone, HFX Prepper here. Today I'd like to go through the 5 items I believe are indispensable for any motorist to have in their vehicle. These items are not going to be in any particular order. They're just the top 5 I think every motorist should have. They're easy to get. Some of these you might already have around your home. So we'll start off with number 5 here. So number 5 is a battery booster pack, just like this unit here. The great thing about these packs is that if you're stranded somewhere with a dead battery, you don't have to wait for somebody to show up to boost you. You can start your own vehicle with this. This one has the added benefit of having an air compressor on the back here. So basically if you have a tire that's low on air or a flat tire, you can fix it with a plug kit, which I'll show you in a second, and then basically reinflate your tire. The good thing about these as well is that a lot of these have varying outlets on the front. So this one has a 5-volt USB outlet to charge your cell phone, and as well a 12-volt cigarette lighter adapter. So you can use varying chargers or varying devices that use that. The chemistry in this is a sealed lead acid battery, just like the chemistry that's in your car vehicle. Some newer models have lithium-ion batteries and they're much smaller. The benefit of these is that you could basically leave them in your glove box, and if you need to use it, you just basically plug it into your 12-volt socket, wait a few minutes, and then you can start your vehicle. So along with this, I mentioned a tire plug kit, which is not going to be a separate item. I'll kind of include it with the battery booster / air compressor here. And what this is basically a kit that you can pick up from most auto parts store or places like Walmart or Amazon for like $5 or $10. And all it is a couple pipe cleaners that are coated in like a tar-like substance. And you also have 2 tools. One's called a reaming tool, like this, which is basically a round file. And the other tool is like a giant needle, like this one right here. And what this does essentially is that if you have a foreign object stuck in your tire, and that's why you have a flat tire or a tire that's low on air, you would use a tool like multi-tool or a set of pliers to basically pull out that foreign object. And then you would basically use a reaming tool to clean out the hole in the tire. And once that's done, you would use the needle-like tool to thread a pipe cleaner through it, insert that into your tire, pull it out, cut off the excess, and then you can use the air compressor here to reinflate your tire. And that's it. You don't need to put a spare tire on your vehicle. I've done it on my vehicles quite a few times. Takes maybe 3 or 4 minutes, and you're back on the road. So that was number 5. Number 4, I believe, would be a multi-tool. This one just happens to be a Leatherman Skele-Tool. This was a pretty basic one. It basically just has a set of pliers on it. It has a blade and a screwdriver with 2 bits. And basically these multi-tools are really the jack of all trades, the master of none. It's not the best set of pliers, it's not the best blade, and it's not the best screwdriver, but in a pinch it'll do. It comes with a really nice form factor. You can carry it on you or leave it in your vehicle. And this will go well with the item number 5 I just reviewed a moment ago, which is basically if you need a set of pliers to pull out a foreign object out of your tire, this is what you're going to want to use. So that's number 4. Going on to number 3, I believe would be a little tool like this called the Rescue Me. And what this tool is, again, it's very small. It can be picked up on places like Amazon for, I believe, $15 or so. And what it is that it's a seatbelt cutter and a window punch in one. And what you would do is you typically leave this either on your keychain or somewhere that's easily accessible in case of an emergency. You basically just pull off the black tab on the end here, and you have a seatbelt cutter. So if your seatbelt is stuck, you can't have it undone, you'd use this to cut the seatbelt. And as well, there's a window punch as well here. And the great thing with these is that if you've ever tried to punch out a car window, you'll know that you're probably going to break your hand before you break that car window. And if you're ever in the unfortunate situation where your car is plunging into a body of water, you can't actually open the door until the pressure equalizes inside the vehicle. And what I mean is that when the vehicle is going down and the water pressure is pressing up against the vehicle, you won't be able to open that door until the vehicle fills with water, the pressure equalizes, and then you can open the door. Now, most people are thought to open the window as the vehicle is going down, which is counterintuitive. The last thing you want is a bunch of water rushing into your vehicle, but that's actually what you want, because that'll equalize the pressure a lot quicker. You can open the door and escape. So there's 2 ways really you can open the window. You can open it like you always would, either with manual controls, which a lot of cars don't have anymore, or electric controls, or you can break the window with a tool like this. Because a lot of cars don't have manual controls anymore, the problem is with electric controls is that if your vehicle is in water, chances are these will short out, and you actually won't be able to open the window. So using a tool like this allows you to quickly punch out a window, let the water rush into your vehicle, and once the water's rushed in, the pressure will equalize, and at that point you can actually open the door and make your escape. So that was number 3. Cell phone. I know most of you already have a cell phone on you, but the great thing about keeping spare cell phone in your vehicle is that if your cell phone dies, if the battery dies or the phone actually stops working, you lose your phone is stolen, you've got a backup phone. Now this is just an old flip phone. It doesn't have service activated on it. I keep it turned off. I keep the battery charged up. 3 great things about these is that in North America, at least in Canada and the US, even if a cell phone doesn't have a contract or any service associated with it, it must still be able to dial 911. So because this phone hasn't been activated in years, I can't pick it up and make a phone call with it. But if I dial 911, it will connect me through to 911. So basically this phone can be could be a lifeline. Make sure you keep it in your glove box where you know it's going to be. In case of an accident, if your cell phone goes flying, you can't find it, reach in your glove box, grab this phone, turn it on, call 911. And that's one of the great reasons to have one of these. The second one is that you basically have a camera on here. So again, if something happens to your phone, you get into an accident, you need to take some pictures, use this phone, take some pictures. It's best if you keep a small memory card in here. I think I keep like a 4 gig card in it. It's good enough for a few hundred pictures. I mean, this is a pretty low resolution camera, but it'll get the job done. The third is that although this cell phone doesn't have any service associated with it, I can still make phone calls using a credit card. So if I really needed to, I can open up the phone, turn it on, try to dial the number, and it's going to come up and tell me that there's no service associated with this phone. But if I provide a credit card, I can actually make a call. Because this phone was associated with Bell Network here in Canada, that's actually who I'd be dealing with to make a phone call. So in case of an emergency, it's not cheap, but you can make phone calls using a credit card with this phone. So that's number 2. And number 1 would be, I'm going to hide the number here, a spare credit card. And why I say a spare credit card is if you are in the unfortunate situation where you've lost your wallet or your wallet was stolen, let's say you're not close to home, having a spare credit card is going to give you the ability to get some food if you need it, get some gas for your vehicle, get a hotel for the night if you have to, or make any stops and pick up anything that you might need. Now, an alternative to that is having credit cards on your cell phone, which I do have, but again, technology will fail, and it'll fail you in the worst possible time. So Murphy's Law would say that I would lose my wallet and my phone would die, or my phone would be stolen at the same time. So having a spare credit card in your vehicle hidden is a great option, because then you know that you've got whatever the credit limit is on this card available to you in case of an emergency. Now, 2 things about this. First of all, this card does have the tap to pay feature. So what you want to do is, if you're going to keep this in your vehicle, you want to call your credit card provider and get them to turn that feature off, because the last thing you want is if somebody breaks into your vehicle, steals a credit card or steals your vehicle, they didn't have a credit card with, let's say $5,000 that they can just tap anywhere and make a bunch of purchases. So if you turn that feature off, it forces anyone trying to use a card to basically have to insert the chip, put in the PIN, and if they don't have the PIN, obviously they're not going to make any purchases. But do remember that you do have the card in your vehicle, and if your vehicle gets stolen, make sure you, after you report your vehicle stolen, call the card issuer and have it reported as stolen. So that's it for the 5 items I think everyone should have in their vehicle. There are others, of course, like a first aid kit, fire extinguisher is always great to have, and a few other things. I'll make some other videos on that stuff, but I would love to hear what you guys have to think about it. Do you guys have any of these items in your vehicle? Have you ever had to use them in real life? What other items do you think should be included on this list or should be replaced compared to what I put on the list? Anyways, if you like the video, please like it. Please subscribe to the channel. And that's it. Have a great day.